Good morning. Good morning, Phoenix. Hi. Good morning. Nice way to kick off the vlog. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Phoenix and I have both had our breakfast. And I am having my coffee. And we're going to vlog today. I don't suspect it will be very entertaining, but we'll see what comes up. I just uploaded the first vlog, the first day I recorded, or like the first day I decided to do this mommy vlogging, I guess. I just posted it yesterday, finally got that up. It was 35 minutes. I don't anticipate these vlogs being that long generally, so that I think was a fluke. But I got a really cool comment back from a friend named Marlene who mentioned this point about how I was talking about Phoenix gets restless in the evenings, or like towards like the later afternoon, early evening, he seems to become more fussy, like way more fussy than he is throughout the rest of the day. And I also was explaining how a lot of times my frustrations will be building into the evening, where it's like the peak of my frustrations are in the evenings. So she correlated those 2 points, that perhaps Phoenix is mirroring that frustration for me, or that experience, which I considered, and but it was a cool reminder because I hadn't deliberately seen those 2 points connected. Like, I do look at Phoenix and consider what he is experiencing or expressing could have way more to do with who I am and kind of my emotional state, my emotional experience. If I'm in a reaction, that perhaps he is reflecting that reaction to me. But I didn't correlate the fact that he gets restless in the evenings with the fact that I get frustrated in the evening. So that was a cool point. Thank you, Marlene, for commenting on that. And it was just a nice reminder too to be more specific about looking at who I am in relation to Phoenix, in terms of if he's fed, if he's, you know, has a clean diaper, if he's rested, and there's a restlessness happening, you know, maybe there is something that I can look at within myself to see, am I contributing to this experience for him, you know? So it was just a cool reminder, like how we can actually utilize this whole parenting journey and our relationship with our child. I mean, I don't know the mechanics of it, obviously, but I do see that they can absorb our experiences and then perhaps express that for us to see, being little physical mirrors for us. The other point I wanted to make was about in relation to yesterday's vlog also, where I was like, kept mentioning how it's like some of my frustrations are around wanting more time to do my stuff, my thing, my, you know, my creative outlet, blah blah blah, not blah blah blah, but and one point while I was editing that came up, I realized that is a dimension of this. The reason why there is also a sense of urgency within me to create content and create videos and to contribute to my YouTube channel is because I have a year off of maternity leave, and I'm curious as to what I can create for myself in this year, in terms of people do use YouTube to supplement their income. And so part of me was kind of curious and eager to explore this potential. And it's like, he's 2 months old already and I've put out maybe 2 videos, and I'm like, I gotta get going, I gotta get cracking, because I only have, you know, I have to go back to work in March. And so it's like, if I really want to see what I can create within this year, you know, the months are passing by now, you know. So yeah, Phoenix is our little alarm clock here. Side note, I am wearing a sweatshirt when I put him in the wrap, which I don't know why I did that, because I'm gonna be so hot very quickly. He's probably gonna start sweating. So new moms out there, if you plan to wear the wrap, don't wear anything heavy under it, because you will get hot and he will get hot. So yeah, the urgency in terms of wanting to create something for myself, wanting my time to do my stuff, is really just me wanting to, it comes down to money. It's all about survival, right? So it's like, can I supplement some of my income with YouTube, with creating YouTube videos and sharing myself? Can I supplement my income for that? It has to do with money. So it's like a survival thing. It's like I have only so much time and only so much income coming at me right now. And so it's like, how can I maximize this? Can I maximize this? Can I create more for myself and for my family, you know? So it's like, it's just this whole point too of like how much money influences who we are and what we do and our experience. And you know, I'm fortunate that I have a year off and I'm being paid to have a year off. whereas many women don't get that time off. They don't get paid. Surely they don't get paid, especially in the US. And it's like, what does that do to one's experience? Like, I would be really grateful and curious to hear from some moms who didn't have, like, what was your maternity leave experience? Did you have paid time off? And if not, how did you support yourself? That's the thing. It's like, we don't realize how much money dictates our life. Money is really the god in this world. Like, if you don't have money, you are not going to survive. So we all, whether we're aware of it or not, are moving according to money. Just a little point I wanted to share, that I can see that that is actually also a huge contributing factor to my experience in terms of wanting to creating something, wanting to, you know, build something in this time off that I have, to try to supplement the income, to try to create more income for myself and my family, to ensure that, you know, we have what we need and our survival is good. And yeah, so that's just a little bit sharing this morning. We have nothing on the agenda today, so I don't know what today will look like, but we will see, and you will see also. So we'll check in later. Hey y'all, so I didn't do any other updates today, but I did want to check in before the night's over about just a point that I faced today that I think is interesting in terms of what this whole parenting process is all about. So essentially, I was making dinner and Andrew had Phoenix. He had just fed and he fell asleep, and so he was in his little bassinet in the living room, and Phoenix woke up out of a sleep crying. Like, he woke up crying, and I went to him, but it was, you know, kind of like Andrew's turn with Phoenix, like kind of taking care of him while I was doing dinner. And so I went over to him, but then I stepped aside because I thought, well, Andrew will get him. And Andrew didn't get him at the speed in which I was going to get him. You know, he went to him and was looking at him, but I felt he was too slow in getting him while he was crying. And so I said, you know, pick him up. Why are you waiting? Pick him up. And there was just like a little bit of a rift there. You could feel there was conflict. You know, I got upset with him because I felt like he was moving too slow to pick up Phoenix, and Andrew wasn't doing anything deliberately wrong. The point within that, though, is basically that was a moment of conflict between my partner and I. I felt like he was doing something wrong. He felt like he wasn't. And I went back to making dinner, and I could just feel this like conflict within me in relation to him now. And all of a sudden there's tension. You know, it's like, you know, when you fight with your partner, that moment of, you know, tension's in the air. You're not speaking at the moment. And so I'm making dinner and I'm looking at this point and I'm not wanting to have this experience present with Phoenix. You know, it's like Phoenix is aware. Even if he's not aware, you know, he's an 8-week-old baby. It's like these babies pick up on their environments. They're feeling everything, they're sensing everything, and they're hearing everything. And I just was like, didn't want that to be what Phoenix was experiencing. And my partner and I have had a pattern in the past, and we've worked through this pretty extensively, where we would go into like silent mode, silent treatment basically towards each other. We just will stop talking. And it's like a suppression, you know, we're both kind of shutting down and don't want to deal when there's a fight. And we've for a long time been practicing, like kind of moving through that, you know, speaking and communicating about the conflict to sort through what has happened, because that's the only way through, right? Like, that's the only way you're going to get to a solution, is by addressing the problem and the moment that it happened and what the issue was and where both sides are coming from, you know. So in this moment, I'm making dinner and I can just see this potential play out of this pattern, our old pattern of like kind of going silent. And I'm like, I don't want this to be our reality or our environment, you know, with Phoenix. And so in that moment, I realized I have to take responsibility for my participation in that moment. And what my participation was I reacted to Andrew not picking up Phoenix quick enough. But really it was because I went to Phoenix to pick him up, but then I hesitated and stepped aside because it was Andrew's turn. And when Andrew then didn't pick him up at the urgency I was going to, and not urgency like I was like, it was urgent and a rush and it was like a, you know, a frantic thing. It was just responding to the moment of his cry. And because I didn't honor myself and pick him up and attempted to stick within this, it's Andrew's turn, but Andrew didn't act according to the way I was going to, I got upset. And not at him, but ultimately I was just mad at myself because I acted in that moment, but I didn't follow through in that moment. For whatever reason, I decided it was Andrew's turn. I could see in that moment that's why I got upset. And those are the moments that are so crucial for not only parents, but for everyone in general, as a point of becoming self-aware, becoming aware of who you are in moments and why certain things play out. Why do we have these moments of fighting? The thing with Andrew and I is that we know when we fight to go to the source of the problem. Okay, where did the problem come up? What happened? How did it play out? And so we go back into the day and wherever the argument took place, and we walk through, okay, this happened and then this happened and this is what I was seeing and then this is what I interpreted and this is how I experienced it. And so it takes those moments to become aware of and take responsibility for. So I had to take responsibility for the fact that I reacted to Andrew because he didn't move according to my expectation of myself, that I didn't allow myself to apply. And it's important. These moments are important because these are the moments that we are so often not aware of, but is where our ability to change exists. And it's those moments we have to take responsibility for and to ultimately correct. So I said to Andrew, I saw in that moment, this is why I got upset, and I apologize that I imposed this expectation onto you, and it was really about me, and we were able to resolve that issue, and we were able to clear the air so the tension was not there anymore. So this is what I'm noticing about this whole parenting process is it takes that in the moment, real-time corrective application. There is no time to process the way that I used to process in terms of letting things linger. Oftentimes these experiences can and need a direct correction in the moment. And oftentimes it's I can see it. So it's why not fix this? Why not address this experience now and apply the correction? It's obviously easier said than done. It's not, it took years of practice to be able to say, I see that this was my responsibility, that I contributed to this conflict, this is where I need to change. It took years of practice to be able to get to that point. And it's still hard. It still takes me giving myself a little push to speak and express the points that I see. That's what parenting is about. That's what I've noticed. This is the real-time corrective application process of of life. It's we don't have the time to mess around anymore because we are living examples for these children. The child in my environment sees and feels and experiences who I am on every level, whether I'm addressing that or aware of it or not. And so I personally want to make sure that I am doing what I can to ensure that I'm an example that I want to set for him. I don't want to be someone that is suppressing my emotions and feelings and is upset with my partner or blaming my partner or not able to express myself or not able to honor myself when I have the intention to do something but I hesitate. I don't want to give that example to my child. I want to exemplify being able to communicate and take responsibility for myself and be self-honest about my experience and to be able to communicate with my partner. And so it was a cool point, and I think an important point to share, because the home setting, this home life, this family, this small little unit that consists of me and Andrew and Phoenix, this is where Phoenix is learning how to function in the world. Everyone in the world starts at home within the family, and it's the family is the foundation for who we become. And so I have a responsibility, Andrew and I have a responsibility to establish a foundation here at home for Phoenix to be able to walk into the world and have principles that he can guide his life with and he can lean on to interact and engage with this world, to do no harm and to ensure a world that's best for all. That ultimately is our purpose here. And it's important work that parents are doing. We have huge responsibility you know, we have the power to actually change the world by changing ourselves so that our children see what it means to be the best that we can be. That's my sharing for tonight. That's all. So, see you next time.